Well, joining us tonight, Congressman Jim Jordan, ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, member of the Judiciary Committee, co-founder of the House Freedom Caucus. Congressman, good to see you.
You too.
McCabe contradicting himself already on his confession tour, book tour as well, conveniently for him. Why isn't the man in jail?
Yeah, look, we've talked about this before. You can't trust anything Andy McCabe says. But like I said before, there is one thing I do kind of believe about Andy McCabe, and that is he's the third person to tell us that Rod Rosenstein was serious about wearing a wire and recording the think about that, walking into the Oval Office with the wire to record the commander-in-chief of this country. And also Rod Rosenstein was serious about talking to cabinet members and invoking the 25th Amendment. That's the scary thing about this. So I don't believe anything Andy McCabe says except maybe that one thing. And the only reason I believe that is because two other people have told us the same thing. Right.
And Mueller reportedly ready to turn over his report to the Attorney General. Your thoughts?
Well, we'll see. I mean, look, we've been hearing this for a while around town. Right. We'll see if it happens next week. I do know one thing that was just announced that is going to happen next week, and that is Michael Cohen is coming in to testify in front of the Oversight Committee. The Democrats just announced it. Right. Their first announced witness of this Congress, their first big hearing. They're bringing a guy to testify in front of Congress who in 2 months is going to prison for lying to Congress. So this just underscores the fundamental point here. Instead of bringing in Michael Cohen, who's going to come in and tell all kinds of crazy things about the president that we know aren't true because he can't be trusted either, we should have Rod Rosenstein and Andy McCabe under oath in front of the Oversight Committee so we can ask them the questions that the American people want answers to. The most important one being, Lou, who was in the room when Rod Rosenstein talked about wearing a wire and invoking the 25th Amendment? Who all did he communicate that with? We want to know that. And
a reasonable question of which I guess you're going to have to depend on the testimony of two liars. It's quite a, as you suggest, a circus that the Democratic committee chairmen are putting together. Let's turn to, speaking of Democratic committee chairman, Adam Schiff, who doesn't seem any longer to have any confidence in Robert Mueller. Suddenly he's talking about going off in his own investigations of Russian collusion. What is going on here?
I will tell you this, Lou. My main concern with Chairman Schiff right now is the fact that 2 years ago he called for Devin Nunes to step down and step aside for a while as chairman. Right. And now we just learned a few weeks ago that Adam Schiff was meeting with Glenn Simpson in Colorado. And I don't hear anything from Democrats or, more importantly, from the Speaker of the House calling for him to step down. That seems a little hypocritical to me. And understand what took place here, Lou. Adam Schiff last summer met with Glenn Simpson in Colorado. Glenn Simpson, the very guy who was paid by the Clintons to put together the dossier. And here's another important point about that. At the time we discovered that the Clintons were paying Glenn Simpson to put together this dirty dossier, Adam Schiff tried to block Congress from getting that information. Because remember, Devin Nunes was threatening to subpoena Fusion Bank records, and Adam Schiff was trying to block that. But it was that movement and that action by Devin Nunes, then Chairman Nunes, which ultimately gave us those bank records and gave us the fact that the Clintons were, in fact, paying Fusion GPS to go put this dossier together. That is serious stuff. And so that's my main concern right now with Chairman Schiff.
And that dossier, of course, the foundation of all that transpired since. Schiff playing a significant role in it all. Do you think he should recuse himself? Is that adequate?
That's a decision by the Speaker of the House and the Intelligence Committee. But understand this: you had the Clintons pay the law firm Perkins Coie, who hired Glenn Simpson, who went and hired a foreigner, Christopher Steele, who then put this dossier together. And the idea that the chairman of the Intelligence Committee is meeting with the very guy hiring a foreigner to put the dossier together, which is, as you said, was the basis for going to get the FISA warrant to spy on the Trump campaign. That is serious, and so I think it's a pretty important question for the Speaker of the House to raise with Chairman Schiff.
Absolutely. Congressman, always good to talk with you. Appreciate it.
You bet.